Hi guys, back down on the Cape. This is Wednesday afternoon. We're here through the first of next week. I'm going to be doing my dad's funeral on Saturday. But in the meantime, I'm back and I really am looking forward to one thing. And that is getting up on this deck, taking off the tarp, taking all the weights off, and just seeing how everything settled out after all the work we just got done doing. So let's go ahead and get that done. And I'm anxious to look at it and anxious to share that with you. Well, guys, this is the way that we had it weighted down, and I'm sure that it was a good thing to put it on as long as it was. But this is a week and a half later, and it's about time we get this all cleared off here, all the cinder blocks and the bricks, and just take a look at this new coring deck and kind of go from there. I'm just really anxious to see this without all this this weight stuff up here on the deck. So let's take a look. Well, guys, it's time for the big reveal here. All the cinder blocks and the bricks are off of here, so let's take a look what we got. Glad we put that plastic on. Oh yeah, that's nice. That's nice. All right, I'm gonna have to go over on the other side and pull up the other side from the step ladder over there. But other than that, we're looking good here. See all the remnants of all the epoxy we put down, and like I said, all this is going to get sanded out, and then we're going to put down. Oh, okay. Well, what's next? I had to stop and think. What's next is we're going to put down probably the roving. We're not sure. Put down the roving, and then we're going to put down several coats of fiberglass cloth, and after that we'll do the finish out work. So, but in the meantime, this is looking good. This is all very nice and tight and together and epoxied solidly down to the pan underneath, so we're looking good here. Okay, I'm gonna go get that other side. Technically I could walk on this now. I am not gonna do it. By the way, now that this is all uncovered, let me just show you, as I mentioned it before in the other video, the bow part of this is actually in 3 pieces. One solid piece to port that is just tucks up underneath all the way around and up into the very peak up there. Then in order to get this part in, the part to starboard, as I mentioned, we had to cut that piece right there. You can see that one piece. That piece had to come off from this piece so that this could slide in. And so what we did 1, 2, 3. This back piece slid into place and tucked up against that. And meanwhile, up in the very peak of that, up above that you know where that is, I took chunks of coring with epoxy, thickened epoxy, and just stuffed it all up in there, so that when that went home, everything is good and solid up underneath the breastplate there. So, so what is the term I'm looking for? It doesn't matter. Anyway, breast hook. Okay. And so anyway, everything's good and solid and epoxied into place up there. But anyway, that all fit together very nicely. So it was 1, 2, and 3, and that completed it. And then actually everything is in 5 pieces total on this whole coring deck. So good to go. Good to go. Okay, just looking ahead, just to let you know, the next trip down, it's going to be all about one thing before any glass can be laid. And that is finishing out. See how this edge has been ground out? All the gel coat's been ground off. I've got to do that all the way around, because I've got to have something for the cloth to bite onto with a new epoxy and cloth. So that's going to finish out up there, all the way around, up through right just behind the breast hook. That's all going to be ground out. And then all the way back down here, and it stops right there, just where the old coring is. And by the way, this is not rotted. This is solid as a rock here. That's just darkened, but that was, you know. So anyway, but that's got to be all ground out. You can see where I quit That's going to be ground out all the way back here, all the way right here, and all over the front of the cabin. The front of the cabin is all going to be ground out exactly like the rest of that is. So we can have a good solid, nothing but epoxy, nothing but solid fiberglass to glass onto. And that's for the next trip down. Anyway, but glad to have this done. Got all the weight off the bow, and now we can cover it up and it'll be happy about it. Good evening. It's a little bit of a post comment on the very short video that you just saw. I wanted you to take a look at how everything came out on the foredeck there with all the new coring we got down. Man, it is tight as a drum. You can't hardly even see a seam in that thing. So anyway, it just came out really well. In the meantime, what we got coming up next, and I don't know when we're going to get down, maybe another week or two, hoping for some decent, dry, warm weather to be able to get begin to get some cloth down, some fiberglass. And so what we got coming up next is, I've been watching Andy on Boatworks today, and how he builds deck layers. And right from the start, when I took up the old deck, I noticed that they had a light, I don't know, it almost looked like chopped strand mat down immediately on top of the old coring, which you couldn't tell because most of it was shot. But then over the top of that, they had some heavy roving, which is, wow. I mean, I was surprised. Well, one thing that heavy roving does is give you a really good, solid subdeck, as it were, and then you build your layers of cloth on top of that and your glass and so on and so forth. So anyway, I ordered, hang on, let me see where it is. Okay, I'll just step back here. There it is. I ordered this marvelous package of 18-ounce roving. This thing is heavy. And there's enough here to do the entire foredeck. And so we're just going to do, from after watching Andy on Boatworks today, the way that he built it up. He did a layer of fiberglass mat, in other words, chopped strand mat, and then over that he had some 1708, which is a woven type of a cloth. I think it's very heavy and solid, and so I think I'm going to go with the roving as the second layer. But the first one we're going to do is chopped strand mat down on top of the coring. Even before that, and this is another one of the things I picked up from watching Andy, even before any glass goes down, we're going to seal the coring with just fiberglass resin, just, some good old fiberglass resin, just completely sealing it, and then all the way around the border where the lip comes in and the fiber and the coring is tucked back under. I'm going to use some thickened epoxy to just seal up that edge. And then after that, then we begin putting down the chopped strand mat, followed by the roving, followed by some 6-ounce cloth. And I've got enough 6-ounce cloth to sink a battleship, man. So anyway, one layer at a time, and building it up and on top of the new coring, and fanning it out onto the edge that we're going to have all completely beveled in and cleared so that you get straight onto the glass. Anyway, that's kind of the idea, it's something I wanted to do, and I wanted to use the roving because that's what they used in the original deck over 50 years ago. So, all right, we'll leave it at that, and thanks for stopping by Restoring Little Girl, and I hope you've enjoyed this very short video, but I wanted to get this in here because it was kind of a follow-up to let you see how the deck turned out, how the brand new coring turned out that we got on there. When I went tapping on that, man, it was like a drum. And it felt really good. I'm really pleased with the fit and the way it all came out. So, All right, we'll let you guys get in on the next one, but for right now, thanks for stopping by, Restoring Little Girl. Okay, last year about this time, I was underway with my solo. I had lost my main halyard shackle way up the mast. There was no way I was going to be able to get it back down, and so I managed to get the jib halyard shackle up over the spreaders and be able to use it to haul up the mainsail. So anyway, I got this all done and I was barely underway. There was almost no wind and it was just pathetic getting out of the harbor. It was better once we got out onto Nantucket Sound, but in the harbor it was just about nothing. Well, little did I know that my sister-in-law was way across Katuitt Harbor filming me. Well, actually, you can't see me. You can see little girl, just crawling along at the slowest pace with only my main up. There's no jib because I was having to use the jib halyard to haul up the main. So anyway, she got this very brief footage of a little girl underway. It's the only footage I have of me and little girl sailing outside of me just doing it in the boat. So I just thought that was so cool. And I got the thing switched over to be able to run it to MP4 and use it on this video. So that's what this is all about. It's very brief, but I wanted to show it because I just thought it was really cool to have a very brief video of little girl underway on our first solo. So anyway, with that, I'll let you see it. And hey, thanks for stopping by Restoring Little Girl. It's been fun.